boss won't hesitate to wipe you out. A boss won't hesitate to kill anyone. But the beauty of it is that
Why are
we
you
all
making me
come.
empathize with
You better
Ife?
empathize. You better, you better, you better. If he is a good guy, if he's a better person, he's on your side. Look at, okay, he tried to convince a boss. Okay, I will give you 20, put the 10. No, she. Okay, I put 25, put the 5. She. I no give. Hey, I'm William Benson. I'm live here on BellaNaija. Keep watching to kill it.
Hello, VM.
Hi. Sup.
How are you feeling right now in one word?
Elated. Because I've never felt like this. I've never felt like this in a long while. I love doing what I do as an actor, but having to have a platform that shoots you out and the whole world, your name is on everybody's lips right now. It's like at least someone is seeing me right now for a very long time. So I'm excited, I'm elated. I'm enjoying the moment and I'm going with it. Let's go.
Yeah, bask in it, please. Bask
Yes,
in it.
like Kemi will tell me, William, take it in, use it, you earned it.
Talking about everyone talking about your character and you
Yeah.
right now, how does it feel being praised this much? People are giving you your flowers in real times. How does
Yes.
that make you feel?
It makes me very happy. Why? Because when you do something good and you're seen and you're appreciated, the energy to continue doing more will always be there. And I'm very excited that people are talking about the work, and it's not just um, me alone. We came together, all of us. There was no air on set. Everybody was upbeat and we were friends, we're collaborators. And it's where I always wish we all would be as artists or actors. When I first got a call, I missed it. Um, then Tola Odusi called me. I said, "Oh, Kemi's trying to reach you." And I was like, wow, when? How? And I ended up picking, picking our call. Then we talked for almost an hour, 30 minutes. I was just basking, listening to Kemi talk about her work with so much excitement, with so much gusto. And she said, William, we need you. And I said, okay, I don't know what I've done to deserve this, but I would say is God all the way. And when we got later on, I got a call from Buchi or Buzz the Boss. I said, William, what you doing? We met some years back and we kicked it off from there. Then, when we got this gig to kill a monkey, he was the first to call me and say, where are you? I said, I'm on the mainland doing something. So he asked me, come over, let's. And we got there, we ate, we drank, we had fun, and I knew what he was doing as well because I sense he's a collaborator too. For him to want to meet him with his co-actor, he's a collaborator. So when we got together, we were talking, gisting, but at the same time drawing energy from each other. It was a beautiful outing that evening. Then the next day we came on set and the magic began. And you have Kemi. When I met with Kemi, I used to have this mindset that Kemi is like average in height. Then I saw the woman who was at the same level with me. I was like, oh my days, she's tall. And I loved it. So she looked at me, William, how are you? How are you feeling? How I told her, Kemi, here I am. Yours I am. I don't have anything to give to you but this being that is here. And there's this saying, prayer we used to pray in church that says, Lord, yours I am, yours I want to be. Do with me what you will. So I looked at her and I told her that do with me what you will. Squeeze me, use me, do whatever you need to do because you are the creator. And that was it. And we started. And it was phenomenal being on set with Kemi. She is passionate with her work. And you now find people who are ready. We were tools in the hands of a ready director. And she used it to our advantage, and the advantage is showing now, and we are taking the balls, we are taking the glory because collaboration happened.
If you were to describe Ife in 3 words, what words would you use?
Grass, grace, grass. This is somebody that the system destroyed. This is somebody that the system pummeled at every level of his life. This is somebody who went to school, came out as a graduate, and a selfless human being who's got the love for his family and everyone. Somebody who finished with a first class. Someone who decided to look for the best so that he can give his family the best. At the end of the day, there was the glimmer of hope that, oh, you get this job, there's an interview, just go there. And you get there early, only to wait and you slept off. At the end of the day, you wake up owning that you are late. Then divinity brought it to be that at the time you got to the gate, the person you wanted to see is coming in. Then you scream out your lungs to say, oh, I'm the one that gave you, that sent all the emails to you. And he says, okay, come prove yourself. The village people happened again. You find Baku inside your bag.
Really, at some point, I thought Ife's problem was spiritual.
Do you understand it now? So a lot of people will tie it to spirituality, village people and all that. Sometimes it may just be ill luck at different levels of it. There are those who believe in that and there are those who... So at this level, you see him at the level of the grass. Every door he knocks on, knocked him out. Every place he stepped in, they dragged him 10 miles back and all that. Then glimmer of hope showed with Obos. And for the first time, someone saw him. And not just seeing him, decided to give him hope. Then he's making money, he's rich, $33 million and all that everywhere. And the same person who gives him the glimmer of hope is now the tool dragging him down. So making the decision. Then you find out that the people you are even making the decision for are not even interested. So what was his end? It was to go to jail, and we don't know what happened after that. So looking at it from that perspective, I say grass to grace, grace to grass.
To grass. I really like that you're getting your flowers like right now. I like everything I've been seeing on Twitter and Instagram. And a lot of people think this is like your first role. It's not. You played Baggy in House of Gar.
Yes.
You were in Red Circle, Ajoshepo, and made many more movies. What makes To Kill a Monkey it's unique? Would you say this is your biggest project yet?
So I'll put it this way, like I was talking about it back then, timeline and timing. There's one thing for God to set you up and says, oh, the timeline starts now. And you not understanding the timeline, the difference between the timeline of God and the timing of God. Because the timeline is the journey starts from this year to this year, or when you were birthed to this time. And your ability to have the same space or the same characteristics of God, which is very unique to God, which is called the long-suffering God. He's not long-suffering that he's suffering, he's long-suffering that he is patient, watching. He knows what is set for you. And I followed through from that perspective of God setting up things for you whilst you are busy being trained by him. He was training me with every other gig that I've ever done. I've been working for over 30 years, and I started with stage, joined film, back to stage, film again, and continue. I worked with Tunde Kilani, Campus Screen. I worked with Theophilus Akatuba back in the 90s, and moved on from that point. And Ajoche was the first rising point for me. I would say that was my biggest then, and I usually don't wear the same looks because it was a policy with me that whatever role I'm playing, what the director wants is what it gets. I don't do, I want to have, it's because it's brand, I have to keep my, no. The character says it's bald, it's bald. The character says it's this, that's what it is. So I've been doing that up until Ajoche, where we did the 260 episode with African Magic. And a lot of people talked about my character there. Then we moved from that to Unbroken. Then from Unbroken to several other gigs that I've done. But I will tell you that the timing of God is this one. This is where God was waiting for me, using the other ones to train me, to hone my skills. This, yes, is the Baba of them all, and it happens to be Kemi Adetiba. That one.
And I'm super excited for you. Yeah, talking about honing your skills.
Yes.
Right. The emotions that you portrayed in To Kill a Monkey. My goodness. Like we had different levels,
Yes.
different variations. We saw anger like never before. We saw pain, we saw sorrow. And then we also saw the romance and the love side of things, even though that wasn't really, really obvious. Again, I'm still beefing you for cheating, but we'll come back to that.
You're not beefing out for cheating on me with a doctor. Using alcohol
No,
as an
you
excuse.
did it first.
It doesn't matter who did it first. If I did it, should you do it?
Okay, so these emotions,
Yes,
they were raw. They were really, really layered. They had so much depth. What was the immersion and the preparation process like for you?
Collaboration, you can't take it away. It's very strong until we actors begin to understand that. It's very strong. There is no anger if you don't have another party to make you angry. There is no emotion to love, expression of love, if you don't have a partner. Someone taught me that two philosophies I play with when I work. One is called RAP, RAPP, research, analysis, practice, performance. If you've been engaged with something to do, and this is what they want you to do, go and research it, think about it, read it, ponder on it, then begin to practice within your space. Get the lines. Once you get the lines, now it's performance. Forget everything you got. What is the other person going to do? By the time I come in front of you, I don't know what I'm going to do until you feed me. You don't know what she will do to you or anyone will do to you until you engage them. So that's the place where I play. I get my energy from.
So there is no ritual. You don't have specific things you did to be able to step into Ife.
No. I just want to know who I'm playing with. I know what I've read. I know the story. Then when we come on, I don't know you anymore until we start work.
That's very interesting. That sounds like a gift.
It is a gift. God gave us a gift, everybody. And his gift is without repentance.
I'm going to go back to your childhood, right?
Okay.
Because of this gift that we just talked about. You mentioned that you played Fela Anikulapo in secondary school. Now you have grown into more layered and mature roles. You're no longer playing Fela, you're now playing Ife, right? What has evolution looked like for you? Were there particular things in your childhood that prepared you for who you are right now?
No. For the life of me, when I was young, I was just a quiet little kid running around and all that. Then life happened to my dad, and he was one of the directors of Lagos State Waste Disposal Board, and he retired. Then things didn't go the way he planned, but one thing he never failed in giving us is education. He will squeeze his life just for you to go to school. And another thing he gave to us is God. He taught us the way of God. And my mom, on her own part, taught me business, taught us business because she was very industrious. Then I finished primary school, got into secondary school. Then, whilst when I was in secondary school in Apapa, I I was a I observe things a lot. I observe things a lot, and I look at life that my mom struggles. As in, she wasn't just struggling; she was just an armored tank that carries everybody and all that, which is a reflection in a way of me being a supportive person when it comes to my family and all that. So, in my second to the final year in secondary school, a guy came in. His name is Daddy Ejdo. He came in and said he wants to do a play with a student, and it was a play on Fela, and I happened to play Fela. After we finished, everybody enjoyed it, and from that day onward, I was called Fela, Baba 70 and all that. Then, whilst that was on, another guy called Benga came and said, oh, there's this playhouse in St. Agnes Catholic Church, let's go there. So I went there and joined JAV Productions, and from there, UDRAC Playhouse. Then I met the man who trained me, Isaac John Asanya. Then after that, I was launched out. I started working with different people and honing my skills whilst I was doing that. Late Funsha Alabi strengthened my diction and how I play, because I watched him for a bit. Then worked with Felix Okolo, who taught me the nitty-gritty of directing as well. So working with various directors, working with various at different capacity. I was learning through the ropes. Then in Unilag, I ended up entering Unilag. A lot of people thought I studied theater. I didn't study theater. Even my classmate did think I studied theater. I didn't. I studied English language. I majored in literature. And the story around that is quite massive, but I'll just skip. So that's how I continued. But all through these experiences, I just knew that I was gathering materials. I was voracious. I was a sponge. If I'm in your space and all that, if you're talking, I'm listening. I'm taking it in. Sometimes you may think I'm not listening, but I am. And I read a lot. I love reading. I love studying my environment. I love studying people. I love current affairs. Because these are the pools from where I draw information when it comes to characterization as an actor. I'm very intentional when it comes to what I do, and all that kind of serve the purpose that gave life to Efemini.
So I was going to say that you have such a rich literary background, because while I was reading about you, I'm like, oh, he studied literature, and you mentioned diction, right? When I watched your interview, the first thing I thought about was, wow, he speaks so well. And then you mentioned stage plays, you mentioned directing, acting.
Yes.
You sort of like soaked up, should I say, the literary space, everything in the literary space. How do these elements come together to shape the kind of storyteller that you are today? I feel like you touched on that.
Yes, I did, but I can expand on that if you want.
Yes, please.
When I went into Unilag, I didn't go into Unilag as a student. I was drawn to that environment, just something to inspire me to continue education. So
were you thinking of not continuing?
So life happened, like
Okay.
Shege happened.
All right.
And I couldn't continue my education then, but I said no, let me just go in there. Then whilst I was doing drama with the department, sometimes I started with the creative arts department, but it wasn't creative arts when it started. It was still a certificate program being run by late Professor Bode Osonye. And they were looking at us as associate directors who come from outside, like town and gown kind of thing. So we continued that. I was helping the students achieve every of their classwork with regards to drama. Then one day, one of my big Edmond, William's Apo, said, William, I'm traveling, please, can you help me handle these guys? directing their play and all that. And that was how I started directing ANG 154 in English department. I hadn't joined them then. And I did that for like 5 years. Then I ended up, so there was a particular evening we were having rehearsals. I stepped outside and I was like, you need to go to, why am I churning out students, graduates, and I haven't entered? So I stood in between main auditorium, Senate building, student affairs, and engineering. I was just in the middle and I looked up and I said, God, I want to go to school. And I heard that silent, still voice say, this school you will go. This school you will go. And everything that you need, I have provided. I am not kidding. The following week, I was reading Punch newspaper and I saw, oh, evening program for, like, I don't care whether it's evening, I'm going. So I took out my certificate and I went straight off. And they looked at my result and said, you have the best result of all the people applying. And that was how I got it. Now to pay the school fees became tough. God just wants to show you that He's the one paying. Then the production I did some months back, came back again and said they want to do it within that week. And I was actually looking for 60,000, and that was the exact money they were going to pay me.
Wow.
And that was how it started. And from that moment on, I was in school. Then I continued assisting lecturers with the same project up until 2010. Up until 2010. Then whilst that was going on, I was also getting trained by God through what I was doing. Then I handed it off. Then I created a production company then called AfriSyn Production. Then I changed it from AfriSyn about 4 years later to Quebec 4 Productions. Later on, we were doing productions with in collaboration with Theatre at Terra, and I did that for a period. Then I met Joseph Edgar, who runs the Duke of Shomolu production. I was the first that he experienced, because when I saw him watch one of my plays that I did then called Yoruba Romance, I looked at him and somebody said it's in the investment sector, the financial system. And I said, oh. I looked at him and I said, me and you go walk. He said, yes, no, yes, no. And that was it. I was in London 2016, getting ready to come back on a Friday when BellaNaija Austin Peter called me and said, William, where are you? I said, I'm in London. He said, when are you back? I said, I'll be back on Friday. And she said, when you get back, please come and see me. There's somebody I want you to meet and help. And when I got there, after I got back, I got into the restaurant to wait. And I saw this same person. I said, yeah, we're gisting and talking and all that, just to show you how fate brings things together. When you speak words are powerful and they come alive. And I started, we were gisting, then the GM just comes and I said, and I don't meet. I said, who? He said, that's the person you're coming to me. I was like, oh my days. I said, I know him. And that was how I started with him. I've written several plays, stage plays in the past, but he said he had this rant in this day newspaper, a compilation of it that he has turned into a book. That can I turn it to a script? And I said, yes, why not? So I looked at it, I ended up turning it into a script. Then we had our first out in 2016. Then I wrote Isaleko, a play on the history of Lagos. Directed that Omomi that was on that. I wrote another one, Obe Shubai. I wrote a Mota. I wrote Uforgiven. Several plays. If he's done 25 plays, I've written close to 14 or 15 of those plays and directed, because we started together as Katunga, but morphed into the title they gave to him in Shomolu when he was in Shomolu, the Duke, because he's always wearing this suit and monkey jacket with a bow tie like Herbert Macaulay. Then we continued up until even last year. So I've done several plays for him, and these were my springboards. When I'm not doing film, this is where I rest on. Then if I'm not doing that, I'm doing my chef cook business and also perfume business on the side. I try as much as I can to diversify. The days you don't have film gigs and all that, you must still stay relevant and stay happy and stay okay.
You're an actor, you're a director, you're a chef, and you sell perfumes. You have a
Perfumer.
perfume store
Yeah.
as well. Wow, this is what Yoruba people say, Onoko Waja.
Onokowoje.
Tell us about being a chef quickly.
Okay, so started with my mom right from when I was young. She never allows my sisters because they always stress her. So I'm the only one she allows in the kitchen and all that. And she made that statement and said, I don't want any woman to take advantage of you. Said the second lesson she taught me was, no matter how angry you are with your wife, no matter how angry you are with the opposite sex, never get angry with food. Because when you get angry with food, when they just say eat the food, you say you're angry, you walk away from the food and you don't touch it. You don't touch it, you'll be the one to wake up in the middle of the night looking for the food. She would have given it to the children to eat. So she made sure I learned how to cook. Then after that, I trained myself. Then when I went to London, I was working with some uh, renowned chefs there who taught me all the intercontinentals. Then I did my own part here, and I've been doing that. There are several people I've been serving. I wanted to open a restaurant at Adeyemala back then, but I don't think God wants me to do that. So I didn't push further. So I rather, when you order, I make your meals, I send to you, or deliver, and all that.
Yeah, we'll be ordering soon, and I'm sure it's going to be very delicious.
I hope so.
Nollywood is evolving, the
Yes.
evolution of Nollywood. Where do you see yourself in this evolution?
The evolution of Nollywood. Nollywood started a long time ago, but when we knew it as Nollywood was in the 90s and the living in bondage and all that. And if you look at it from that time to this moment, you will see how it has evolved. We've moved. At least America took 250 something years to get to where they are, and we have gotten to where we are at right now in less than 50 years. And nothing beats the strength, the sheer strength that we have, the determination to hone whatever we've been given and to express ourselves the way we should. And you could see how strong the women are in the industry today. The men started it, the women are giving credence to it at different levels. You see Bolanle Austin Peters holding up her head where she is. You see Mo Abudu stretching her wits and all that, all up across the board. And you see what's her name, Nora Awolowo. You see Judith Audu. Now you've always have Kemi Adetiba. We all know that she carries magic all around her when it comes to setting up stories and telling those stories, putting people. There's none of her film that she puts out that doesn't launch a new set of people and launch them very well. And we could see that. And I know that going forward, Nollywood will be stronger than where we are at today. And the more we look at it and we give the right constructive criticism about it, not negative criticism, constructive, that okay, we're lacking here, how do we come together to make it better? How do we come together to do the right thing? I know it's a game of numbers and all that, but a lot of times you have good materials who don't have the numbers to market your product, so that makes your production suffer sometimes. So we need to have schools that train people to be good, at the same time give them the social media or the technology education also, for them to be able to blend both to become where we are, to become what they want to be, and everybody benefits from it, because the journey is starting and the technology age is what we're entering, AI, and we don't want to be irrelevant. So I think I'm honing my skills also in technology so that I remain relevant at all levels. I am here with regards to social media too. I'm trying, at least I've pushed my followership up to about 20 something thousand, and it's still climbing, and I pray it goes beyond that. And it's not just that, have the numbers, but I also carry the value that is required.
I can't wait to see you do exploits in Nollywood. The last question is, what's your favorite scene in To Kill a Monkey?
Huh. Okay. I have several that
Just
I
one.
love, but I'm going to give you one. And that one is, I beg, God some for me.
And you eventually got to the soap. Is Efe a good guy or a bad guy? Where do you stand?
Ife is a good guy who is caught in the web of chaos, and you don't know what you do when you are when you are at sea and you have current. Nobody has ever escaped the current of the sea. No matter how good a swimmer you are, it's crazy. So it's like they say, don't what you won't eat, don't sniff
Don't,
it.
yeah.
But I did sniff this one, and I got caught in the web, and the web is what's webbed me into what everybody's calling a wicked person or a betrayer. If it's not a betrayer, it depends on the angle you're seeing it from. A man who stands to protect his family, a man who is all about helping people. He doesn't want to kill anybody. He hates it, what he has never done. He won't do. Obos won't hesitate to wipe you out. Obos won't hesitate to kill anyone. But the beauty of it is that
Why are you making me empathize with Efe?
you better empathize. You better. If he is a good guy, if he's a better person, he's on your side. Look at, okay, he tried to convince Obos. Okay, I will give you 20, put the 10. No, she. Okay, I put 25, put the 5. She. I no give. Everything I did to save us. You can't beat that ground where you have someone who has ruled the system for a long time and you come and you say you want to reign. It doesn't work that way. You will give something to get something. Shift for them to shift away. Like the Yorubas will say, Ebelambe Ushika. So I want to use this time out also to thank my pastor, Dr. Sain Fireman, who actually is also in the mix of this whole thing. Why? Because the day before Kemi called me, I went to a program in a hotel, and one guy that was insulting him and all. I'm like, "Do you know him?" He says, "No." "Have you met him?" He says, "No." "Have you ever conversed with him?" He says, "No." All of a sudden, you turned on him, and I said, "That's not nice. When people tell you things, verify them before you take actions, or else you'll be fighting something you don't even know." And that was it. So I got back that Sunday. I went to church. We had evangelism. I went out with flyers. I carry God on my head very well. I carry him on my head very well. So when we finished, we got back. I wasn't satisfied. I took more flyers and I went down. I came back and he looked at me. He said, "William, kneel down. Let me bless you." And at that time, before I hit my knees on the ground, he said, "Get up. I'm done." I left. The following day, I wasn't expecting it. If they told me Kemi will call me, I will put my hand. And the same way it happened to me is the same way it happened to Kemi, because she was having they've auditioned for the character. If they've tried everything, the people they even thought would be good for it and all that, still were not coming forth through for them. Said she and her husband and her brother, Remy and Oscar, they were having this a cool walk in the evening or so, and my name came up in her head, and she had seen a guy that did something for her before for To Kill a KOB. I don't like the way he did the audition. It was very lackadaisical and all that. Truth be told, I don't like phone audition, all the monologues you do, because you don't get the best. If you bring me into the environment, we use energy and all that. One-on-one with people, you'll be able to place feelings, because what we do is feelings. Like, we can't just keep conjuring feelings. So I thought that's why I don't like audition. I don't hide my mouth about it. Anybody who wants to go and meet teacher. Go and meet teacher. Teacher will tell you why you should not bother about me. But really, yes. And that was it. And she said, "Wow." And I said, "It's divinity. Divinity. When God is at work, everything obeys. When God is ready for you, everything will align." And he did align for me into Kill a Monkey. And And I want to say a big thank you to everyone who was in To Kill a Monkey, and I also want to say a big thank you to Oscar, who scored the music in To Kill a Monkey, and Kemi Adetiba for being able, for having that gift, the sensitive gift to know who and what she wants and goes for it without compromise. And also Remy Adetiba, who held the whole thing together, and production-wise, and every other person who were in the crew. And also, I want to say a big thank you for having me on your show, BellaNaija.
And a big thank you to William Benson for
Thank
being such an exceptional actor
Thank
as well.